I think maybe some time to talk about France and their performance. I'd like to take a look at the starting 11 for France because I don't know if there's questions, Herc, for Didier Deschamps. Maybe it was really, truly just what was available.
Right.
But when you see a French team that is so dynamic start so badly, I think it's worth pointing out, of the 10 field players that started this game, 6 had dealt with either flu-like symptoms, and those are the ones I'm saying that we knew about, right, reported, or injuries in the immediate lead-up to the final. And I just wonder, Herc, if there wasn't a little... I'm not making excuses for the French team, just realities. If that didn't play a part into the slow start, and maybe even the performances specifically from Olivier Giroud, who gets pulled in 41. We never heard anything about Dembélé as an injury doubt, but Giroud we did hear late last night. L'Equipe reporting that he suffered a knee knock in training that could affect whether he started this game or not. Clearly, Deschamps went with him, and clearly he wasn't the same guy we saw the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, clearly if you look on paper, what's available, that's the best squad that they had for selection, right? Same back four, same 3 in the middle, same 3 up front. But where I thought they had an advantage, at least heading into this game, presuming everybody was healthy, no injuries, no illness, no viruses, things like that, etc., turned out to be the opposite. So I thought them resting versus Tunisia, resting players, would be a benefit to them, because while most teams are coming in having played 7 games, or into their 7th game, and some overtimes, if you will, they weren't. They were fresh. But then Argentina has 1 more day of rest, and you get sick, and then you have some injuries. You could say those are excuses, and sure, Argentina did their part. You know, Ian Dark responded to my tweet about, wondering if they're still carrying the flu-like symptoms or this virus, and he responded, Argentina is the virus. Okay? Argentina was good.
Right.
Give them their credit. But you saw a lack of intensity.
I mean, when you're not well, isn't that the first thing to go?
Of course. And you're not well, and you're coming on to your 7th game, and you're dehydrated, and you're knocked up, and it feels like everything is on top of you emotionally because of what's going on in the game. That is normal.
It's effectively an away match.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like you're in La Bombonera, Monumental, whatever you want to be. It felt like everything was against them, but the reaction was brilliant.
Yeah. So in the first half, we mentioned 0 shots on goal, 0 shots, period. And then in the second half, what I think really, and I know it's only like 10 minutes, but it's really for me after that second wave of subs at 70. So it's really the last 20 minutes of the game. And then I think it affects all of extra time when the game really opens up. You saw what France has that, forget that Argentina doesn't have it. I don't know that there's another team in the world that has as much of it as France does, and that's speed. Speed kills, and you always say, and I hate to say you're right, but you always say the international game is a young man's game.
Right.
I think a lot of what you're saying there is it's an athletic player's game. It's a speed game, and I mean, when
Especially
you got Colomwani on, when you got Thuram on, when you got Mbappe on, I mean, these guys
Coleman,
it was like a track meet.
It really was, and they're so dangerous. I keep saying that they changed the game. At least they give you a blueprint of what you can do in a World Cup setting, a tournament setting, right? If you have young, dynamic, explosive players, yes, you've got some great talent. Nobody's denying the talent. But look at Morocco, with a vertical style of play, intensity, sound technical players. Sometimes you don't even need to have a ton of world-class players. You can create a lot of problems. You look at France, they've got that. I mean, they've got that Real Madrid DNA where they defend, and you're like, how is this team winning right now? And then they score another goal, and then another goal. You're like, well, there it is.
You definitely say that about the quarterfinal as well, right, against England?
But they've got some very special players, and they all have one thing in common. They've got that game-breaking speed. And when you're a veteran or just any player and you're going on to your 5th, 6th, 7th game in a tournament setting, and then you see these guys running at you, it's a lot to deal with.
And again, just to kind of finish the thought on France here in terms of who wasn't available or who wasn't totally fit, we have to acknowledge the guys who, for me, would have been 100% surefire starters in this team that are injured either in the immediate build-up or the months leading into this tournament, right? First and foremost, Karim Benzema, who we know there was a big discussion about.
Maybe not a starter, but he's a huge player, right?
Benzema?
I mean, look, Giroud.
No. But Giroud never starts the tournament as the starter if Benzema's available. I believe that in my core of cores.
Well,
you don't bring Benzema on to.
You could believe
you
that.
don't bring Benzema to the World Cup to sit him on the bench.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Benzema,
You believe that
Benzema,
Deschamps would have started Giroud over Benzema?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Benzema's played 2 tournaments with Didier Deschamps, and neither of them has passed quarters.
Not now. But.
And with Giroud, he's been in how many finals? 3. So
this was the 3rd, yeah.
Yeah. So there's something to be said there, how the team can move. That's a different conversation. But I agree with you saying he'd be a big player.
Yeah.
So you can continue with the list.
Sure, Pogba, Kante, Kimpembe. I think all those guys are starters.
For sure.
And it speaks to the depth of this French, beyond this squad, the program, that the football in France is churning out high-end
talent. And look who plays in in front of them. Or right now, because they're not here.
Sure.
It was
Tchouaméni
who's with Real Madrid. Camavinga comes onto the game right here, Coleman, who's at Bayern. It's just so many different players that are maybe not impact players today, but are surely the future of world football.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.